So Sean, I'll throw this one at you. As an employer, are we required to provide any notification to participants regarding the CARES Act or provisions of the CARES Act?
Yes. So with that question, I'm going to speak on the retirement account provisions of the CARES Act. Meaning the coronavirus-related distributions, loans to qualified individuals, suspension of required minimum distributions, and certain changes to the defined benefit plans. So with those, the statute in CARES did not describe any requirement to provide participants notice of the changes. If you implement, if as a plan you decide to implement those provisions, are you required to provide participants with the notice that, hey, now you can access this distribution if you're qualified. Now you can access a greater amount of a loan if you're qualified. No, there is no formal requirement to notify the participants. However, we're seeing it's been best practice to notify participants. I think the last thing a plan wants to run into is maybe those managing the plan, or maybe those in senior positions, have an understanding that the plan has implemented these, but the rest of the employee base does not. So if a audit or Department of Labor audit were to kind of identify that the officers of the plan had accessed some of these CARES Act provisions, but the remaining balance of the plan did not because they did not know about them, the plan could potentially fail a benefits, rights, and features test, and it could create a headache. So it is good practice to notify, I believe, a lot of the service providers. The large TPAs of the world are assisting in notifying participants, but as an employer, you should just make sure that communication is consistent and aligned with what the plan is operating.
Yeah, it's kind of like more information is better than less information, I assume, right?
Correct.
Lindsay, do you have anything to add to that you've been seeing?
Sure, yeah. So the FSCRA does have a notice requirement that's related to those paid leave provisions. So you're probably used to, if you're in HR, posting your FMLA poster on your workplace. There's a similar poster for the FSCRA leaves, but if your employees aren't on your physical work site, they may not see that poster. So
that's what I was going to ask. That's funny. Now we're all working from home.
So you got to post a poster, but the DOL has also issued some guidance about distributing that electronically, so participants and employees are aware of their leave requirements. Under the CARES Act, for the health and welfare related provisions, if you modify your plan, particularly if you're a private employer that's subject to ERISA, that plan change will likely trigger a summary of material modification. So you would need to make sure to not only amend your plan, but then also prepare that notification for your plan participants and make sure you send it out timely as well. So it's not an explicit notice requirement in the CARES Act, but there's a separate notice requirement that's going to apply if you make any changes to your plan.